Greetings, friends, and welcome to today's dose of inspiration. Today we're going to be concluding our study of the names of God. I hope that you have been enjoying it as much as I have. It definitely opens our eyes to new facets of God's character and maybe helps us to understand Him in some different ways. It's kind of generic just to call Him God because that encompasses so much, but breaking it down into the finer details definitely gives us a more accurate portrait of exactly who He is in our lives. Today we're going to look to 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 3 to see one last portrait of God. In this verse we see the picture of a man who is coming to worship God, and there's a very interesting phrase that is used. He's coming to worship the Lord of hosts. The original Hebrew says Jehovah Sabaoth, Lord of hosts. But what exactly does that mean? Saying the Lord of hosts might not necessarily mean a whole lot to you, but let's take a deeper look. Do you know that all of the angels of heaven, whenever they are spoken about collectively, is called the host of heaven? Now, many of us are very familiar with angels. Sadly, some of us are too engrossed in angels, almost to the point of worshiping angels. And sometimes we place a little more emphasis on angelic beings than we even do of God. That's true. Some of us like to speak to our guardian angel or other angels that we feel have effect and impact on our lives every day, and it has come to a point to where a lot of people put their faith and trust in the angels. Now, don't get me wrong, angels do play a very important role in our lives. God does set angels round about us to watch over us, to protect us, to bring us messages from heaven. They can even bring supernatural provision. They absolutely do have a very important role in the big scheme of things, but they are never created to be worshipped. Just who is the God of the host, Jehovah Sabaoth. Do you know that God is God of the angels, and that it is Him and His power that is displayed through the works that angels accomplish here in the earth that should be reverenced and honored? Now, I want you to think about it this way. There is a picture in the Bible of a young servant who was near the prophet of God, who was very afraid because the nation of Israel was about to go to battle. He was scared because his human eyes saw the battle and knew that Israel was way outnumbered and would probably lose the battle. In a moment, the prophet prayed and said, God, open his eyes that he can see there are more with us than who's against us. And in that moment, the little servant's eyes were open and he could see. And he said, wow, I see so many angels. They're all up on top of the trees. And his faith was increased in that moment because he realized the vast host of heaven. Here's the deal. They did not worship those angels, though, because they realized that even the host of heaven had to answer to Jehovah Sabaoth, who was the Lord of the host. Friends, I want you to know there is nothing in your life that you need to fear. There's no enemy that can come against you, that can overtake you, as long as Jehovah Sabaoth is really Lord over your life. View Him that way. He is the most powerful, most competent, and most authoritative figure ever. That is God. And He is the God that you are in relationship with through Jesus, His Son. Never take that for granted, and never allow yourself to be afraid of things happening around you, either here on the earth or in the spirit realm, because the God of the hosts is in relationship with you. That's pretty powerful. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this series on the names of God. I hope that it's given you a little bit different portrait of Him. And most of all, I hope that it has helped you to fall in love with Him in a whole new way. I hope that it has brought some peace to your life and brought some understanding that there is nothing to be afraid of, nothing to worry about. As long as your faith and your trust is in God, every single area of your life is covered. He's got you. He's got it all. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in with me. Until next time, I pray that you will walk in the favor and the blessings of the Lord. See you soon.